and today I'll be unboxing the Marvel Heroclix set, Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage Fast Forces. This Fast Forces will be released this coming Thursday 9 September, and it's my pleasure to do an early unboxing for you where we'll go through these 6 figures found in this Fast Forces and maybe take a look at the dials and the character cards and see what actually these individual characters are capable of and what they bring to the table of Heroclix. I've been a huge fan of Spider-Man for as long as I can remember. Being a 90s kid, I actually grew up with the Spider-Man animated series, and the Spider-Man movies actually, made me more of a fan as I grew older as well. And before we actually do the unboxing, just want to show you guys a little piece of history. This is actually the very first Heroclix figure that was ever released, which is the promotional Spider-Man that came out in 2002. So this figure actually came out before the Marvel Heroclix set was actually released. And yeah, this was the very first Heroclix figure that I've actually gotten. And after 18 years, I'm so excited that I'm actually opening another Spider-Man, and I can't wait to use this one that's found in the Fast Forces. So yeah, let me give it a open with my trusty X-Acto knife. There we go. Now this Fast Forces set is actually based off the Absolute Carnage storyline, but you'll also be able to find Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, which is the Sinister Syndicate, as well as characters that you find in the original Maximum Carnage storyline inside this Absolute Carnage set. So go throw this away, and we got our cards over here that is found behind this pamphlet. And yeah, this will be the very first Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider that I'll be owning. So, this is really a treat. Check out the figures. As you can see, this is Carnage. He's pretty big. Yeah, he's a big boy. Looks like he's trying to bulk up to fight Venom and Spider-Man. Take on both at the same time. We've also got Mysterio, who recently appeared in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. And we got Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider. I don't really know much about this character, but watching the Spider-Verse Miles Morales movie, the animated movie, yeah, I actually like the character a lot right now. And we've got the classic Black Cat as well. And we got the 2 title characters of this set. We've got Spider-Man over here, who's crouching down, ready to pounce on his opponents. And lastly, one of my favorite Marvel characters, Venom. So we're gonna put them over here. And let's take a look at the cards over here. So this is a 6-figure Fast Forces set. Now normally Fast Forces, to me, they are the best way for any new player who's interested in a game, or any old player who wants to get back in a game. Fast Forces sets are usually the best because they come with characters that work well and play well together. Like the previous set, which is the Fantastic Four Fast Forces, that whole Fast Forces set actually includes all 6 characters with the Fantastic Four keywords, so that you can immediately play teams with them. However, this Absolute Carnage Fast Forces comes with characters from both Spider-Man and his villain's Rogues Gallery. So it's going to be an interesting way to build, but I've actually reviewed the keywords inside this Fast Forces, and you can build teams out of these 6 figures as well, so you need not worry about that. So let's go through the very first card over here, which is Ghost Spider Gwen Stacy. So she has the Kodak Spider-Man family celebrity and monster keyword, and she has a traded symbiote which grants plasticity and shape change. Now from my understanding, this Gwen Stacy is during the time where she actually lost her powers, and she had to broker a deal with her universe's Kingpin, which was actually Matt Murdock, and they actually granted her the power of the symbiote so that she can actually, you know, become like a superhero again. So let's just take a quick look at the sculpt. I really like that she's actually coming out with the webbing over here, and she's in motion as though she is, you know, getting ready for battle. And she comes with 75 or 50 points with the Spider-Man ally team ability, 5 range with Indom and the trait of symbiote that we mentioned, and she also has the improved movement of elevated terrain, as you can find over here. So her Dao gives her charged, sidestep, super strength, incapacitate, super senses, combat reflexes, regeneration, outwit, and close combat expert. And we've got that trusty Spider-Man team ability, which grants wildcard. And this is her Dao over here. She is 6 clicks long for her 75 points, and you can even buy her at 50 points, which has almost the same stat value as her 75. It's just without the outwit. So even if you play her at a 50 points, she's still coming in strong with that super strength, and with the super senses, top down, and shape change, it's actually going to be really hard for your opponent to take a swing at Gwen. Really liking this figure right now. And let's take a look at the next one, which is Mysterio. Let's take a look at the sculpt first. Looks like he's holding some illusion projectors in his hands, and I like that there's the smoke effects coming out from his feet. And yes, the fishbowl is over here, and he comes with the Sinister Syndicate team ability, 75 and 50 points. Now if I'm not wrong, every character in this set comes at these 2-point values except for Black Cat, which we'll go through shortly. And he has 5 range and an improved movement of hindering terrain. So let's go through his trait, which is Robot Minion. At the beginning of the game, generate a Robot Minion bystander, or you can give later on a power action to generate a Robot Minion bystander with maximum 2. Now, Mysterio also has the carry ability to carry up 2, but only to carry Robot Minion bystanders. So let's take a look at the back of the Dao. This is the Robot Minion bystander, where it has the traded Veil of Lies. If Robot Minion occupies one of Mysterio's smoke cloud markers, modify attack and damage value by +1. And he also has the autonomous attack symbol, so whatever actions these robot minions take, they do not count towards your action total pool. So that's really efficient. And yeah, he has shape change, toughness, quick, and force blast found on this bystander. So if you are a huge fan of Mysterio, you may want to consider getting the Absolute Carnage dice and token packs, because now the tokens that are found inside those token packs, if you turn them to the reverse side, they'll actually show you, they'll actually printed the bystander token abilities on top of the token itself. So if I'm not wrong, Robot Minion is actually one of the bystanders that you can find in the dice and token pack. So besides having that trait, Mysterio has Setting the Stage, which grants him mind control, sidestep, and stealth. He has Phasing, Smoke Cloud, Mastermind, which will come in very handy when he throws damage to the robot minions. He can use super senses, probability control, and shape change. Now I really like this trait to generate robot minions and to have Mastermind itself. So as long as you have less than 2 robot minions, you can give a power action to Mysterio, and he'll always have some Mastermind fodder for you to throw the damage at. Lastly, his last special power will be Outwit, and he also has the Sinister Syndicate team ability, like mentioned previously, so you can actually copy and share the attack values with other Sinister Syndicate characters that can also use this team ability as well. So let's have a look at his Dao. At 75 points, he's going to start with Mastermind and Probability Control, so you may want to go for this instead. But even if you're paying at 50 points, he has Shape Change and Super Senses, so it's also going to be a little bit hard to hit him. Now, this being a Spider-Man set, you'll be seeing a lot of shape change and super senses. So having Mysterio with these abilities as well, it's pretty good. So it's going to be a bit hard to hit him. But personally, I would enjoy playing him at 75 points just because of the Mastermind. So that you can, throw these damages to these robot minions and enjoy probability control. So our next character that we're going to go through will be Carnage, who has the Codex, Frightful Four, Maximum Carnage, and Monster keywords. Now let's take a look at his his sculpt. He is indeed a big boy. Now we put him beside Venom. Yeah, he actually does look a little bit bigger than Venom himself. And he also comes at 75-50 points. He does not have any team abilities, but he has Indom, he has no range, and he has improved movement for elevated terrain. He also has the traded symbiote that we saw previously in Ghost Spider Gwen Stacy, which will grant him plasticity and shape change. And for his second trait, it will be Maximum Carnage. Once per turn, when Carnage hits, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to up to 2 opposing characters that won't hit but are adjacent to hit character. This is a wonderful ability to force your opponent to consider not putting his characters all bundled up together, such as like maybe for the case of Mysterio, he wants to be near his robot minions, but if somehow Carnage actually managed to takes a hit at Mysterio, and his robot minions are beside Mysterio, Carnage can actually continue to deal damage to these characters that are adjacent to Mysterio. So I think this is a very nice spilling of damage that you can continue, and something that you expect Carnage to do. He does not only stop at one opponent, he's going to try to hit as many as possible. So he's got Charge, Flurry, Sidestep, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Steel Energy, Super Senses, Toughness, Regeneration, Exploit Weakness, and Battle Fury. So Battle Fury will help out with ignoring those shape change that you find in those Spider-Man and symbiote figures. And he comes at 75-50 points, like we previously said. So I think if you buy him at 75 points, you're going to enjoy the Exploit Weakness. Even though you do not get the Battle Fury to ignore those shape change, but I think the upside is that you can be carried. The Carnage can be carried before making his Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Charge attack. So personally, I think I would prefer the 75 point. Yeah, just because he can be carried, and with the charge squares of 6, I think he can go really far and can take down a lot of characters that are in his way. So our next character, which will be Black Cat. I think this is the hidden gem that is found inside this Fast Forces set, mainly because Black Cat comes at 50 or a 25 point down. Coming in at 25 point down will help her make into teams so much more easier, and she also has the Defender's team ability. So if she were to take part in those teams for Marvel Knights Defender Spider-Man family, and if they have the wildcard ability that you can find in your Spider-Man figures, which is like the Spider-Man team ability, you can actually copy the Defender's team ability from Black Cat. So she has 3 range, she doesn't have Indom, she has a trait and improved movement for hindering and elevated terrain. Her trait is Stealth, and she also has a second trait called Always Bet on Black. Once per attack, when Black Cat attacks or is attacked, roll d6 and replace a die in the attack roll with the result. This is a very cool and interesting ability. So let's just say your opponent rolled double 6s, rolls a crit hit. Black Cat can change one of those 6s and then make it no longer a crit hit. So Black Cat also comes with Leap Climb, Sidestep, Precision Strike, Smoke Cloud, Combat Reflexes, Super Senses, Willpower. She has Perplex and Exploit Weakness, and the Defender's ability, which will give characters who have this team ability to share their defense value, which is very similar to the Sinister Syndicate ability where you share attack, but however defenders will share the defense value instead. So this is her down at 50 points and 25. I think the real benefit for playing her at 50 points is to just get a perplex, but personally I love her at the 25 points. It's so easy to fit her into your Spider-Man family teams so that you can have all your wild cards copying defenders, and this Black Cat, she has stealth on her own, so she's going to keep herself safe and you don't have to worry too much about her. Yeah, so you can put her aside and let the rest of your Spider-Man family to try to handle those threats, and she also can be used for your team props as well. I think she's the real hidden gem inside this Fast Forces, and I'm really excited to use her. We're coming down to our second last character, which will be Venom. And let's take a look at his scalp. He looks like he's starting to pounce off and attack his opponent. He comes at the usual 75 and 50 point down. He has in-down 0 range. He has a trait and an improved movement for elevated terrain. And let's take a look at his keywords, which is Codex, Sinister Syndicate, Monster, and Reporter. Now, we previously saw 2 Codex characters, which is Carnage and Ghost Spider. So this is actually our 3rd Codex character found in this Fast Forces set. So like mentioned, he has 2 traits, which is Symbiote, obviously, which grants him plasticity and shape change. He also has Tendrils, which grants him giant reach too. So Venom can actually try to extend a little bit further to his opponent while he's doing charge, so that he can count more squares to make close combat attacks. And he comes with charge, sidestep, blade scores flanks, steel energy, super strength, invulnerability, toughness, regeneration, exploit weakness, and battle fury. Now Venom does not come with any team abilities like the most of them. And this is his style at 75 points and 50 points. The 25 points difference, besides getting those 2 clicks, is the defense value and attack value dropping by 1. This is a really tough choice. Now for me, I've always liked my characters, especially those attacking characters, to start with at least an 11 attack. But if you're a bit tight on points, I think playing him at 50 points is also fine. Yeah, I mean, he still comes in strong with the exploit weakness, blade claws and fangs, and charge. I like Venom, yeah, and he has shape change, so it's going to help him, with his defenses a lot more. And we come down to our very last figure, the amazing Spider-Man. And let's take a look at his skull. Now Spider-Man looks like he's crouching down, like as though he's on top of a gargoyle and looking down at New York City to see any incoming threats. And he comes with the Spider-Man family team ability, and 75-50 points. He also has a range of 5 and 2 lightning bolts, so he can target 2 characters with his range attack. He also has a trait and an improved movement for elevated terrain over here. He also has the Spider-Man family reporter, and scientist keyword. He has this special trait called Marvel Team Up. When establishing teams, choose a name keyword a character on your starting force has. Spider-Man gains that keyword. This makes Spider-Man the team player of all time, the best team player of all time. You can put him in like the weirdest teams you can think of. You can put him in maybe like the Fantastic Four, which is comic accurate. You can maybe even look into other universe, maybe into other comic book lines as well, where he can be part of their teams as well. And personally, my favorite to use him in will be the Sinister Syndicate team ability, to join the Sinister Syndicate teams, so that he can use his Spider-Man team ability to copy that Sinister Syndicate team ability and share his top-down 12 attack with the likes of Mysterio, Green Goblin, and Hobgoblin, and whichever Spider-Man villain. So oddly enough, I think this Spider-Man is probably one of the best guys to support his villains. So now let's take a look at the rest of his abilities, which will be Quips and Twips, where Spider-Man will have a leadership and succeeds on a roll of 4 to 6. So seeing this ability itself, you know that this Spider-Man is more like a seasoned veteran who has been leading people into battle, hence why he has like the Marvel team up ability where he can participate in any conflict that arises and join them as a team. So he also has charge, running shot, flurry, quick, incapacitate, combat reflexes, super senses, perplex, and that team ability Spider-Man, which will grant him wildcard. So it works well with his Marvel team ability. Join him into a team, and then copy the team ability that team have. So let's take a look at the back of his DOM. Now Spider-Man does not come with indom, and at 75 points and 50 points, 75 points he's a close combat attacker with charge. If you play him at 50 points, he's going to be more range oriented with that running shot and that 5 range. Between these two DAOs, personally I like the top DAO 75 points a lot more. Yeah, he becomes like a close combat monster with that 12 attack and 18 defense with combat reflexes, so even in close combat he's going to be defending at 20 defense, and that's going to be really hard to hit. So now, seeing all these characters that are released inside the Fast Forces, one thing I liked about the Fast Forces is that you can build teams straight away from these Fast Forces pack, and there's actually one team that you can build with all these characters in here, which will be Codex. Now the downside is that your team ability for Spider-Man, you won't be able to copy anybody's team ability, but this is at least a team that you can build straight out of the pack itself, where you can use Spider-Man to join the Codex team to help out Ghost Spider, Carnage, and Venom to battle your opponents. So I really can't wait to use this set. And yeah, watch out for the release that's coming out this Thursday on 9 September. Go to your local game shops or comic book shops and check if they actually do stock this wonderful game. And for me personally, I've been playing this game since the beginning, as you can see previously, where I owned this 2002 Spider-Man, so it's been like good 18 years, and I have to say this is one of my most favorite games to ever grace on top of my tabletop. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video, and I hope you'll be able to get your hands on the Spider-Man Carnage set soon. Oh, sorry, the title is called Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage. Thank you.